It has been more than a decade since the perplexing death of Whitney Houston, the iconic female singer affectionately known as The Voice, has remained a constant subject of media attention, as the mysteries surrounding her death in a bathtub have never been fully clarified. What is even more remarkable is that, while fans were still reeling from the shock of Whitney Houston's tragic demise, a similarly unusual and distressing incident occurred in the bathtub, this time involving Whitney Houston's daughter. Fans have absolutely no idea what the hell happened to these two. Today, we finally discovered the reason why Whitney Houston and her daughter died in the bathtub. Please watch until the end of the video. Whitney Houston, born on August 9, 1963 in Newark, New Jersey, was destined for a remarkable musical career from an early age. Her journey into the world of music began as a child when she discovered her passion for singing while attending church services. It was in this sacred setting that her prodigious talent first became evident to those around her. As Whitney Houston continued to hone her vocal abilities, her reputation as a gifted singer quickly spread beyond the confines of the church. During her high school years, her exceptional voice earned her a coveted role as a background vocalist, a position that would prove to be a pivotal moment in her life. It was during this time that she caught the attention of talent scouts and industry insiders who recognized her extraordinary potential. At the tender age of 19, Whitney Houston signed a record deal, marking the official beginning of her journey as a recording artist. In 1985, she released her self-titled debut album, Whitney Houston, a monumental milestone in her career. The album skyrocketed to the top of the Billboard charts, an accomplishment that heralded her arrival as a musical powerhouse. The remarkable success of her debut album was only a preview of the unparalleled success that would follow. Following her debut, Whitney Houston released her second studio album, simply titled Whitney, which further solidified her status as one of the most extraordinary voices in the music industry. Both Whitney Houston and Whitney firmly established themselves among the greatest-selling albums of all time, leaving an indelible mark on the history of popular music. Throughout her illustrious career, Whitney Houston continued to captivate audiences with her powerful and emotive performances. Her vocal range and ability to convey deep emotions through her music set her apart from her peers. Her achievements were nothing short of spectacular, and she remains the most awarded female recording artist of all time, with a staggering collection of accolades and honors. With over 200 million records sold worldwide, Whitney Houston's impact on the music industry is immeasurable. She holds the unique distinction of being the only artist to have 7 consecutive singles reach the #1 position on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, a testament to her unmatched talent and popularity. In 1992, Whitney Houston achieved a remarkable milestone in her career that would solidify her status as an all-around superstar. It was in this year that she made her acting debut with a starring role in the critically acclaimed film The Bodyguard. This transition from the music industry to Hollywood was a significant moment, showcasing her versatility as an artist. The Bodyguard not only marked Whitney Houston's foray into acting, but also produced what would arguably become her most iconic and enduring hit, I Will Always Love You. This heartfelt ballad, sung by Houston in the film, resonated deeply with audiences and quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The song's emotional power and Houston's exceptional vocal performance earned it a Grammy Award for Record of the Year, solidifying its place in music history. It remains to this day as the highest-selling physical single ever released by any female recording artist, a testament to the enduring appeal of Houston's voice. However, the success of I Will Always Love You was just one facet of the immense achievement tied to The Bodyguard. The film's soundtrack, featuring Whitney Houston's breathtaking vocals on multiple tracks, became a sensation in its own right. In fact, it remains the single greatest-selling soundtrack ever released, a testament to the enduring popularity of both Houston's music and the film itself. While her career continued to soar to new heights with her success in The Bodyguard, Whitney Houston also embarked on a personal journey during this time. She was preparing to transition into motherhood with her husband, Bobby Brown. This period of her life was marked by a delicate balance between her flourishing career and her growing family, highlighting her ability to excel in both her professional and personal roles. In this year, Whitney Houston's life took a new turn when she married fellow rhythm and blues singer Bobby Brown. The couple's union was a significant moment in both of their lives as they embarked on a journey together in both their personal and professional spheres. This union marked the beginning of a new chapter for Houston, and it would have a profound impact on her life in the years to come. Their love story continued to evolve when, in March of 1993, Houston gave birth to their daughter, Bobbi Kristina Brown. The decision to name their daughter after her father was a meaningful choice, reflecting the bond and connection between the couple. This new addition to their family was a source of joy and fulfillment for Whitney Houston, as she had long aspired to become a mother. Houston's enthusiasm for motherhood was palpable, and it seemed that she was finally living out her dream of caring for her newborn daughter. She openly expressed her happiness about becoming a mother, often describing it as an aspiration she had voiced previously. Her daughter, Bobbi Kristina, brought immense joy and purpose to her life, and Houston cherished every moment with her. However, as a renowned artist with demanding work responsibilities, Houston found herself faced with the challenging task of balancing her career and her role as a mother. The relentless demands of her music career, including touring and recording, limited the amount of leisure time she could spend with her daughter. Over time, this juggling act began to take a toll on Houston emotionally. The singer, despite her immense success and fame, started to feel a sense of guilt about not being able to be there for her daughter as much as she wanted. The conflict between her home life and her career weighed on her as she grappled with the realities of being a touring artist and a mother simultaneously. While she had envisioned an idyllic life with her daughter, the practical challenges of maintaining that balance proved to be more complicated than she had anticipated. As time passed, Whitney Houston's initial enthusiasm for her domestic lifestyle began to wane. The pressures of her career, coupled with the challenges of being a working mother, led her to become somewhat disenchanted with the situation. One way she sought to bridge this gap was by bringing her daughter, Bobbi Kristina, to her musical performances whenever possible. It was not uncommon to see Bobbi Kristina accompanying her mother to concerts and events, where Houston would sometimes even bring her daughter up onto the stage. This gesture was not only a way for Houston to be physically closer to her child, but also a reflection of her deep love and desire to include her daughter in her world. The relationship that Whitney Houston began to cultivate with her daughter mirrored the experiences from her own childhood. Houston's mother had been a backup singer, working alongside legendary artists such as Aretha Franklin and Elvis Presley, just as Houston herself had experienced her mother's absence due to her career commitments. She found herself in a similar situation with her own daughter. Whitney Houston's return to her music and film career soon after the birth of her daughter was marked by remarkable achievements. In 1995, she gained greater recognition in Hollywood with her role in Waiting to Exhale, followed by another successful film, The Preacher's Wife, in 1996. Her remarkable talent transcended the music industry, and she was rapidly becoming a respected figure in the world of film as well. While she continued to excel in her professional life, Whitney Houston's personal struggles were taking a toll on her. During these years, she grappled with substance abuse issues, a pattern that had intermittently appeared throughout her life. Despite her efforts to maintain her public image and continue performing at a high level, the challenges of addiction were affecting her behavior and well-being. As her daughter, Bobbi Kristina, grew older, she began to notice her mother's erratic behavior more acutely. Whitney Houston's drug use became increasingly evident to her daughter, causing concern and distress. Whitney Houston's struggle with substance abuse was a long-standing issue in her life, one that continued even after the birth of her daughter, Bobbi Kristina. Her husband, Bobby Brown, has openly discussed the challenges they faced as a couple in dealing with their individual substance abuse problems. In fact, he recalled that rather than improving, Houston's substance abuse issues appeared to intensify after becoming a mother. This created a distressing and tumultuous environment within their family. Regrettably, Bobby Brown also admitted to taking drugs with his wife while their daughter, Bobbi Kristina, was around. These memories have haunted him over the years, as he has expressed deep remorse for the choices made during that period. The presence of drugs in their household during Bobbi Kristina's formative years undoubtedly had a profound impact on her upbringing and the environment in which she was raised. In 2005, fans were given an unprecedented and unfiltered view into the personal lives of the Houston Brown family when the reality television series Being Bobbi Brown began airing. The show provided a candid and often raw look into the family dynamics as they navigated the challenges of their daily lives together. Viewers witnessed the struggles, conflicts, and complexities that accompanied Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown's relationship, as well as the impact of their substance abuse issues on their family life. The public's concern for the well-being of the Houston Brown family grew as it became increasingly apparent that both Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown were often visibly intoxicated, even when their young daughter Bobbi Kristina was present. This distressing behavior was a source of alarm and embarrassment for their daughter, who had to witness her parents' struggles firsthand. The situation raised serious concerns among observers, as it became clear that the family was facing significant challenges. Many began to fear that the trajectory of the Houston Brown family was headed for a tragic outcome. The constant presence of substance abuse, coupled with the public displays of intoxication, created a deeply troubling narrative that left people worried about the family's future. The spotlight on their struggles intensified, drawing both sympathy and criticism from the public. As the Houston Brown family continued to grapple with their personal issues, they painted a vivid and often tumultuous picture for the public. Their relationship was marked by domestic disputes, persistent rumors of infidelity, and the ongoing substance abuse problems that had plagued both Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown for years. These issues made it difficult for them to keep their private lives out of the tabloids, leading to a constant stream of media attention. Despite their personal challenges, Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown decided to embrace the spotlight and allowed cameras into their lives for the reality television series Being Bobbi Brown. While this may have provided some insight into the complexities of their relationship, it also seemed to invite even more scrutiny and sensationalism. It wasn't entirely surprising when, in 2007, the couple made the difficult decision to end their marriage. Following their divorce, Whitney Houston gained custody of her daughter, Bobbi Kristina. The two embarked on a new chapter in their lives by relocating to a house in Atlanta, Georgia. This move was not only an attempt to distance themselves from the substance abuse issues that had marred their family relationships, but also to seek a fresh start and a healthier environment. However, as they settled into their new life in Atlanta, it became evident that life had unexpected twists in store for them. With Bobby Brown no longer in the picture, a shadowy figure named Nick Gordon stepped in to become the new man of the house for Houston and her 14-year-old daughter, Bobbi Kristina. Nick Gordon was informally deemed an unofficial godson for Houston and promptly moved in with the singer and her daughter. The domestic arrangement raised eyebrows and led to speculation about the unconventional living situation. Whitney Houston, who had previously struggled with substance abuse issues, was often seen making public appearances while appearing to be intoxicated, with her young daughter by her side. It became apparent that Nick Gordon was a significant presence in their lives, and many began to question the nature of their relationship and his influence. Concerningly, it was reported that Gordon was the one who was supplying drugs to both Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina, exacerbating the already troubling situation. It was especially disconcerting considering that Gordon himself was just a teenager at the time, having been born in 1990. This age gap and the apparent power dynamic within the household raised further concerns about the well-being and safety of both Houston and her daughter. Nick Gordon's presence in the Houston household was notable due to the relatively small age difference between him and Bobbi Kristina, making him just a few years her senior. However, despite their close ages, Gordon's influence on Bobbi Kristina appeared to have a negative effect on the young girl. Family members and close associates have suggested that Gordon was the individual responsible for introducing Bobbi Kristina to drugs, a stark departure from her previous behavior when few people had ever seen her intoxicated. In late 2011, Bobbi Kristina was actively pursuing her own musical aspirations and collaborating with her mother in the recording studio. This was a dream come true for her, as she sought to follow in her mother's footsteps and establish herself as a musician. It was an exciting time for both mother and daughter, who shared a special bond through their shared love of music. Tragically, this dream was abruptly cut short in February of 2012. On February 11, 2012, the music world was stunned by the devastating news that Whitney Houston had been found dead in the bathroom of the Beverly Hilton Hotel. She was discovered lying unresponsive in the bathtub and was pronounced dead at the scene. At the time of her untimely death, the iconic singer was only 48 years old, leaving behind a legacy of music and a daughter who adored her. A subsequent report from the city of Los Angeles indicated that the cause of Whitney Houston's death had been accidental drowning. However, it also noted that contributing factors included heart disease and the use of cocaine, shedding light on the complex circumstances surrounding her passing. The news of her mother's sudden demise left Bobbi Kristina devastated and in a state of shock. After some time had passed, Bobbi Kristina found the courage to open up to the public about the profound impact her mother's death had on her. She shared her experiences and emotions in the 2012 Lifetime series titled The Houstons on Our Own. Through this series, viewers gained insight into the grief and struggles that Bobbi Kristina faced as she coped with the loss of her beloved mother, Whitney Houston, and the challenging circumstances that followed. During the course of the series, Bobbi Kristina made a surprising announcement. She revealed that she had become engaged to Nick Gordon. This revelation took many fans and viewers by surprise, as Gordon had once been considered by the public to be like a god sibling to Bobbi Kristina, given his informal role in the Houston household. This unconventional engagement stirred a range of reactions, with some expressing an understanding of Bobbi Kristina's decision and others remaining concerned about Gordon's influence in her life. Despite the initial shock, Bobbi Kristina and Nick Gordon moved forward with their engagement, and the news was officially announced in October 2012. However, it's worth noting that there were differing accounts regarding their marital status. Bobbi Kristina claimed that the two had married in early 2014, solidifying their commitment to each other. However, this claim was later disputed by one of Gordon's lawyers, adding a layer of ambiguity to their relationship status. As time went on, reports began to emerge suggesting that the relationship between Bobbi Kristina and Nick Gordon may have been fraught with difficulties. Retroactive allegations of physical and mental abuse surfaced, based on witness testimonies and accounts from those close to the couple. These allegations raised concerns about the nature of their relationship and the potential harm inflicted on Bobbi Kristina during this period. Unfortunately, much remains unknown about the specifics of Bobbi Kristina's life during this time, as her relationship with Gordon was relatively private and shrouded in controversy. What is clear, however, is that this tumultuous chapter in her life would ultimately come to an end, and it would be marked by tragic circumstances that would shock the world. Tragically, only a few weeks before the 3-year anniversary of her mother Whitney Houston's untimely death, Bobbi Kristina Brown was discovered in a situation eerily reminiscent of her mother's passing. She was found face down in a bathtub, a chilling echo of the circumstances surrounding Whitney Houston's demise. Remarkably, when she was discovered, Bobbi Kristina was still alive, though in a critical condition. Medical professionals immediately intervened, placing Bobbi Kristina into an induced coma in an attempt to stabilize her condition. This coma would continue for several agonizing months, as doctors and loved ones held on to hope for her recovery, even as the situation appeared increasingly dire. However, the hopeful outlook would ultimately prove to be in vain. On July 26, 2015, the world received the devastating news that Bobbi Kristina Brown had passed away at the tender age of 22. Her death marked the end of a young life filled with promise and potential, but marred by tragedy and personal struggles. An autopsy conducted following her death provided a sobering insight into the circumstances surrounding her passing. The examination revealed that Bobbi Kristina's body contained a troubling combination of substances, including alcohol, prescription drugs, morphine, and cocaine. The cause of death was determined to be immersion associated with drug intoxication. This tragic cause of death bore a striking resemblance to the one that had been attributed to her mother, Whitney Houston, emphasizing the heartbreaking cycle of addiction that had plagued their family. In the wake of Bobbi Kristina Brown's tragic passing, her family, especially her father, Bobby Brown, aggressively placed the blame for her death on Nick Gordon. Their belief was that Gordon played a significant role in the circumstances that led to her demise. It's important to note that while these allegations were made, no criminal convictions followed in relation to Bobbi Kristina's death. However, the legal aftermath of this tragic incident included a civil lawsuit that would have significant consequences. In the civil lawsuit, Nick Gordon faced legal action initiated by Bobbi Kristina's family. Unfortunately, Gordon's response to the lawsuit was marked by non-cooperation, and he failed to appear in court. As a result, a default judgment was issued against him, ordering him to pay a substantial sum of $36 million in damages. This legal judgment served as a symbolic acknowledgement of the family's conviction that Gordon had a role in the tragedy. In a deeply saddening turn of events, Nick Gordon's own life was marred by the same substance abuse issues that had afflicted both Whitney Houston and Bobbi Kristina. In 2020, at the young age of 30, Nick Gordon passed away due to a drug overdose. This heartbreaking outcome marked yet another casualty in the tragic narrative that surrounded the Houston Brown family. On a more positive note, later that same year, Whitney Houston received posthumous recognition for her immense contributions to the world of music. She was posthumously inducted into the prestigious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a fitting tribute to her iconic career and the enduring impact of her music. This recognition served as a testament to the lasting legacy of Whitney Houston, despite the personal and familial challenges she faced during her lifetime. What do you think about the mysterious death of Whitney Houston and her daughter? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.